Good afternoon, folks. Good to have you joining us today. Aftermath of the storm last Friday, and we're in Wallace Park here in Lisburn. It's a beautiful place, brings back a lot of memories, and there's quite a lot of trees down in Wallace Park. I don't know a lot about trees, but this is some type of cedar tree, I think. I'm not exactly sure. You can correct me in the comments. But this tree has fallen down. You know, folks, failure is not final. And the Word of God speaks a lot about men and women who failed, and yet there was recovery. And there's a lovely verse in the book of Job. If you know the story of Job, it's one of the most remarkable stories, especially in the Old Testament. It's perhaps the oldest book in the Bible as far as authorship is concerned. There's no mention of the patriarchs, or there's no reference to other scriptures, which leads many to believe that the book of Job is perhaps the oldest written book in the Word of God. And the Bible speaks about Job as being a man who was perfect before God and his generations, a man who feared God and eschewed evil, and yet the enemy came in and afflicted him under the hand of God. God, of course, sovereign in all things. And Job's friends came in and they accused him and they corrected him and they gave their advice and they gave their opinions. And Job described them as being miserable comforters. Job seemed to lose everything within a short space of time: his family, his farm, his health, and many other things. But in Job chapter 14 and verse number 7, Job says, "For there is hope of a tree, if it be cut down, that it will sprout again, and that the tender branch thereof will not cease." There is hope in a tree, or hope for a tree, if it is cut down or if it falls down, that it will sprout again. I'm not sure, probably the council come and chop this tree up into firewood. But if this tree was left as it is, although it's fallen down, there are still enough roots just here to give it life. And a little bit further up, where the branches have fallen into the ground, there's the opportunity, the chance that they will lay hold upon the soil, will sprout and bring forth life once again. So maybe today you're a believer, you're discouraged, you've got into hard times, difficult situations. Maybe even you've fallen into sin, you've let the Lord down, you've backslidden. Maybe you've been cut down by somebody else and the rug's been pulled from under you, and you feel that you're on your back, as it were, and you maybe feel that you've lost your footing and there's no future for you, there's no hope. But there is hope of a tree, if it is cut down, that it will sprout again, and that the tender branch thereof will not cease. And the book of Job ends on a high point, and Job experienced a new start, a new beginning. God turned his captivity, and the Lord restored unto Job twice as much as he had lost. And follow through the scriptures, men like Peter, men like David, people who failed, people who fell, and yet there is hope in a new start, a new beginning, because God is the God of recovery. Don't be discouraged. If you've fallen, there's hope that you will rise again. God bless you, friends. See you next time.